What's up, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day right outside Boston Billiards right now. And first time here, gonna check out the action. Met with some of the floor, so we got something going on soon for you guys. Super excited. Going to be announcing it fairly soon, but going to check out the action, mixing a session here. I think they only run a 1-2 right now. They have 2 tables going on this Wednesday night, I believe, right now. So we're gonna hop in, play. Maybe we'll get some table footage. We're trying to get that all figured out right now for today. But if all goes well, you might be seeing more of this place. But let's get in some of the hands, jump into the action, and see how it goes. So wish me luck, and let me know what this iPhone camera quality looks like, because it actually looks pretty good, actually. First hand in this Boston Billiards session, hop into the 1-2 game. We buy in for the max of $300. And first interesting hand that we will go over, we have 8-7 of diamonds under the gun. Under the gun here, probably can fold this or put this in my open limping range, but here, let's just go ahead and open things up to $15. We get one caller in the button who's a pretty short stack, and we're going heads up to a flop. The flop comes Jack 5-9 2. The flop comes Jack 5-9, all hearts out there, and I'm first to act. Here, playing against the short stack, should be checking all the time, so for that exact reason, I go ahead and bet. I bet $20, and considering he's a short stack, probably going with his hand a majority of the time, he makes the call for $20, and we're off to a turn. The turn comes the Queen of Spades, and here I am going to do the really smart thing of going to put him all in for $65 total. Here, going with my 8 high, no heart draw, just a stinky little gutter ball that I probably won't hit, and probably 3 clean outs at best. He thinks about it and says he has a set, so he calls the $65. So we are off to a river. The river comes a jack, pairs the board, no good, because he has pocket fives full of jacks, and we double him up. So shout out to George for that double up. Thanks for watching the channel, and I'm sure I'll see more of you in the future. One hand later, we pick up the same exact hand in the small blind, 8-7 of diamonds, a few limpers to me, and here in the worst position, we're just going to not blow out the pot here like I usually do. Let's just limp in, put in the extra dollar, and the big blind checks. So we're off to a flop, and without bloating out the pot, the flop comes 8-8-7, 2 hearts out there. That's what we wanted to see in a limped pot, so great flop for us. I'm going to check. The big blind throws out a bet of $45, and there are 3 callers all the way around to me. Here, I was going to stick to the plan of just flatting this, but now multi-way. I think multi-way here, I think I can definitely start building a pot and increase the size of this pot right now. So I go ahead and raise a really small amount to $45. Normal raise would probably be like 5 or 6x since there's so many people, but I want to get as many people as possible and also build the pot as well. So we raise the $45, and it folds all the way back to the button. Everyone folds for this really small raise, unfortunately, and the button luckily makes the call and saves us, thank goodness. We finally get some action. We're out of position. Let's go to a turn. Turn comes the 6 of clubs. He has about $200 in his stack, and this card here would probably improve some straight draws, ideally. Hopefully he had 9-10, but I'm still going to be down betting because I want to price in the flush draw as well. I go ahead and bet $40. I think I hear from straights. I hear from trips a lot of the time. So when I bet $40, hoping to induce a jam or just at least a raise here, but he folds. Couldn't get action from anyone right now. What the hell? The following hand is an interesting one. We have pocket queens on the button with $350 in our stack. We get an under the gun player who's a pretty big stack, opens it up to $10. He covers us. There are 2 callers to me and actions onto me here. Going to be putting in the 3-bet for sure. Just got to think about the sizing. I just go with the 3x plus $2 $10, so 3x plus $20 in there. So I go with the standard sizing of $50. The under the gun player, who's a big stack, thinks about it and makes the call, which is nice. One of the limper, who's pretty short stacked, has about like $100 max in his stack. He makes the call and actions onto the last limper in the cutoff, and he thinks about it and rips his entire stack in for $240 total, basically. Actions onto me here, and with only $350 behind, or $350 total, not going to be folding. We put in the re-raise. The big stack under the gun player folds, and the short stack limper makes the call for like $92 or whatever it was. Pretty insignificant amount. So we're off to an all-in 3 ways, and we're off to a flop, and we have video.
YouTube first for the side pot, please.
Really dumb decision by me for some stupid reason. I stopped recording when we were going to show our cards. That's pretty bad, but we were actually up against the jacks. The cutoff player who had the bigger stack had jacks. The other guy folded and mucked his hand, so the ace did not matter, and we actually take down the whole pot.
Button's good.
There we go.
The very next hand, we are playing six-handed in the cutoff with ace deuce of hearts. I open the action up to $12. We get a player on the button who makes the call, and player on the small blind who covers us pretty big stack. He 3-bets to $45. We're playing pretty deep. I'm in position of this 3-better, so I think about it and end up making a pretty loose call. Probably a fold a lot of the time, but here deep enough to play post flop and maneuver here. So we make the call and the button makes the call as well. So we're off to a flop three ways. Flop comes ace, queen, 9, 2 spades out there. Flopping top pair is definitely not a bad situation to be in, but it can get a little bit tricky in a 3-bet pot. So here, under the gun player bets $60. And I just can't be folding just yet with top pair. If I'm going to be playing ace deuce, I'm definitely not going to be folding an ace here on an ace high flop. So I make the call for $60 and the button player folds. We're going heads up to a turn. Turn comes the 9 of spades. Bottom pair is paired and also the flush draw gets there. He checks to me, and here with a bunch of showdown value, I'm going to go and check it back and evaluate a river. The river comes the deuce of diamonds, so we improve from 2-pair to 3-pair, and 3-pair definitely plays here, and he throws out a bet of $80. Here, I'm losing to ace-king and ace-queen and chopping with any other ace, basically, so I gotta defend my ace for the $80. I don't love this spot at all, but at the end of the day, I had to toss in the call to just at least defend my top pair. Maybe he could be making a bet with kings, or most likely we're chopping a lot of the time, so I call, and he shows red ace-king offsuit, so he had there outkicked me for sure and just got into a pretty terrible spot, and that's why you don't play ace deuce suited pre-flop on a 3-bet pot. Next hand here, we pick up black aces in middle position. Pretty great hand. I open it up to $15. We get a short stack jammer that jams $57 total. It folds all the way back to me. Can't fold, can't really do much, so obviously we're calling the 57 and we're off to the races. We show our hand. It's aces versus ace queen of diamonds. Let's go to a run out. Run out is pretty good for us. It is a jack high rainbow flop. Turn comes a 10 of diamonds, brings in a lot more outs, which is not cool. Gutter ball and the nut flush draw. The river comes the 7 of diamonds. Of course, he gets there. Runner flush, and we lose that one, unfortunately. My aces are getting cracked recently. Last hand of the session, we will go over a little bit unorthodox. Let's go ahead and talk about it. We're on the button with pocket 7s with an under the gun straddle out there. There is an under the gun +1 who open limps. Hijack player raises to $15. I've been watching this player for a while now. Seems to be a regular at this casino. And from what I've seen in the past, this raise, very small 3x raise over just one limper, is definitely not a sign of a pretty strong or premium hand. So it seems like he's weighted towards ace-jack offsuit, ace-10 type of holdings, or lower pocket pairs. So assuming that I'm ahead and I'm also in position of this player right now, I go ahead and 3-bet to isolate. $45 total, and action folds all the way back to him. Isolation works, he calls, and we're off to a flop heads up. The flop comes king, jack, 9, all diamonds here, another monotone board. Flopping an underpair, he checks to me, and here I have a decision to make. He has about $100 behind, so I didn't mention it. He's playing really short, so not a whole lot of ability to maneuver here, and it's a decision to either play my exact hand or play my perceived range. Obviously, my 3-betting range consists of a lot of king X's, and this card hits me a ton, but at the same time, I have decent enough showdown value, and against a player that doesn't have a whole lot in front of him, bluffing seems to be disastrous, so we're just going to check it back and play my exact hand right now. Turn comes the 9 of clubs, and he throws out a bet of $20. $20 bet, and I have pocket 7s, underpair to the board, and a 7 high flush draw. I can't be folding for $20 just yet. It's just a little too nitty to fold, so I make the call for $20, and we're off to a river. The river comes the deuce of diamonds, and he checks to me. Here improved to a 7 high flush. Realistically, do I think I have enough showdown to just check and win this hand? Or do I have to jam and get him off this pot? Realistically, I don't think he's going to be folding a lot of his holdings, especially a flush. I think even like a 10 high flush, which is basically the third nuts right now. Don't think he can be folding with his stack size. So at the end of the day, 7 high flush. I mean, if we're beat, so be it. I check it back. He shows pocket 6s with no diamond in there, so we had the right read the whole way. Just a pretty unfortunate and scary board there, but we'll take it down. Just ended the little session here, played for about 5 hours at Boston Billiards, and we left with $1 for a keepsake because first time here, gotta take $1 home. So I ended up being in the game for about $400 and out of the game for $645. So very modest profit of $245 through 5 hours. Played decent. I think I played actually pretty solid the whole time. Very comfortable in that 1-2 game. Tons of action to be found, and overall really positive experience there. Tons of action, players at the table buying shots for each other. That was fun. I did not partake because we're driving like an hour to go back home, so did not partake in that, but everyone was super cool. It was friendly, and you'll definitely be seeing more of Boston Billiards from me moving forward because thing is, I can get table footage. I guess there is no law in New Hampshire to prevent people from recording at the tables. That was new. I didn't know that. So we're definitely going to be coming here. A main goal is just to try and incorporate some sort of table footage on this channel because that's like everything I want. That's all I want in life is to get some table footage. And here, I mean, it's a little bit of a farther drive, but I'll do it for pretty decent action actually, even though there were only about 3 or 4, I think 3 1-2 tables going, and pretty good action, and I need to get that table footage. So I'll definitely drive further out to get some footage for you guys on the channel. So I'm going to be coming here a little bit more consistently and mixing things up as well. So that is awesome. And yeah, you might hear some news from me about Boston Billiards in a few weeks. Be on the lookout. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, smash that like button, would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow me on Instagram to be up to date onto whatever the hell I'm doing. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.